Good evening. Welcome to this live broadcast today. This Sunday, it is going to be another mind-blowing. It is going to be another mind-blowing broadcast. You are watching me live and direct on YouTube, live and direct on Facebook, live and direct on Twitter. This evening, we're going to be very, very fast and very snappy, this program. And I am going to be telling you a lot of things that you probably must have heard of, and probably some of them you've never come across. This evening, it is still the awareness for Nigeria disintegration and the freedom of Biafra. When I say that you, if you are a Nigerian, you are a criminal, you are regarded as a criminal, I was not joking. When I say that Nigeria breeds criminals, I am not joking. This evening, it is part of the things I am going to bring to you. A lot of reasoning, a lot of analysis, a lot of opinion from experts suggesting that what I have said, there is no doubt about it. This evening also, I am going to expose to you once more for those who are telling you that there is a law in Nigeria that when the National Assembly harness the power of enacting law, that there are going to be peace. I am going to expose, some of the things I did not expose last time during when I made it rain on Emeka Emekesiri. Please, I am inviting you today. Invite your friends, invite your well-wishers, invite those who are believing in those false propaganda by all these people that parade themselves, that they want to make Nigeria one, that they want to restructure Nigeria, that they have one particular law from the Constitution of Nigeria, which they are agitating that the National Assembly should invoke. And some of them claim that the Section 4 of this 1999 Constitution, as amended, empowered the National Assembly to enact laws that will make peace. And they go further to argue that, The only thing that will bring peace in Nigeria is for the National Assembly to enact a law to make referendum and restructure Nigeria. And I am here again this evening to bring a different, divergent view, totally different from what they are thinking and what they are parading on social media and other media places, including those who are filing lawsuits, who are trying to know why the senators cannot enact law to restructure Nigeria. So this evening, all these issues I have just mentioned now, you are going to get well informed this evening on this page. Now, we wait for our viewers to troop in as usual, and then we start. Some of them, somebody like the ones who call themselves Movement of Biafra in Nigeria. You know, these are the people that have said they should leave the international stage for those who are fighting for Biafra and continue the restructuring agitation in Nigeria. And these people are being led by somebody called Emeka Emekesiri. Emeka Emekesiri, in several occasions, made reference to Section 4 of the 1999 Constitution as amended. And this evening, I am about to put that, all this, his claim and references to the Constitution of Nigeria to rest. After this evening, the group will no longer be able to convince people because they are only sabotaging the struggle for total restoration of Biafra. Remember, I have appealed to him and his group that we are not against you agitating for restructuring of Nigeria, but do not come bringing restructuring agitation to diaspora. Do not bring in the restructuring of Nigeria to the UN. Do not bring in the restructuring of Nigeria to the United Kingdom. Do not bring in the restructure of Nigeria to the United States. It is not the business of international community in internal affair of Nigeria. Restructuring is an internal affair, while total disintegration and freedom of Biafra is an external and internal affair, which has to do with international community. This is a basic knowledge that everybody should know. On this note, I will be trashing this claim of making reference all the time to Section 4 of 1999 Constitution as amended. And today, after today, those who may have, after our debate, those who may have still, one way or the other, their leg, one leg is there and one leg is there, after today, you will be able to pull your leg, your remaining leg from that side and cross over to total restoration of Biafra group. This is all I have to do this evening. Remember, the stage we are now in Biafra struggle is intellectual stage. We are now in intellectual stage. The intellectual stage in Biafra struggle requires that we give an in-depth analysis of issues that are facts, factual issues, so that when we begin this, the different level of this agitation, people will understand. Those who are still doubting about the possible disintegration of Nigeria will begin to understand where we are going to and where we are coming from. So the stage we are now is an intellectual stage of this agitation. And that is why earlier during last year, when I joined this, I told the Nigeria authority, it is time you bring in your best. It is time you bring in your best brain. It is time you bring in your best brain. All the people you are sponsoring to sabotage the activities of these genuine agitators like IPOB and Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, they don't have nothing. You better bring in big and more smarter and more intelligent people to begin to engage us, because these people you have now, you are paying them. They are benefiting something either by proxy, directly or indirectly from you, and they are coming international community to say we want restructuring of Nigeria. Whenever IPOB or other group writes to any authority demanding for freedom of Biafra, they will write to that same authority demanding for restructuring of Nigeria. So that you people will understand when we say you sabotage the struggle for Biafra, you may be doing it, you thinking you are doing the right thing. But we are now calling your attention. Emeka Emekesiri and Co. We are calling your attention in case you do not know previously that your action constitutes sabotage to the restoration of Biafra. We are now telling you that your actions are an act of sabotage. How did it become act of sabotage? Very simple. It becomes act of sabotage when you can come in international community and start writing to the United Kingdom that you want restructuring. It becomes an act of sabotage when you begin to write to intelligence services like FBI, claiming that IPOB is a terrorist organization or that IPOB are terrorizing people. Meanwhile, you have refused to write against Fulani herdsmen. You have refused to write against the bandit. You have refused to write against those who are actually killing and who have been recognized as a terrorist organization by international community. You refuse to write so that the international community could intervene in Nigeria. What you should be writing, in case if you don't know what to write, let me advise you. What you should be writing to international community is seeking the attention of international community, like the intervention of international community in Nigeria, reminding them the work of the United Nations, reminding them why the United Nations was constituted, why the founded United Nations was because of the kind of issues you have in Nigeria today. You have to begin to write to international community, telling them that Nigeria have failed, telling them that there is a need for foreign power to come to rescue Nigeria, especially in the security sector of Nigeria. Tell them that the security agencies in Nigeria has failed. These are the things you should be writing about, and not writing against the people that are agitating for freedom of your people. It becomes an act of sabotage. If you write and claim you want international community to support you to restructure Nigeria, that is a very, very foolish and childish reasoning that the international community should come and help you to restructure Nigeria. So those of you who are parading yourself as an intellectual people, parading yourself as educated people, you should be able to differentiate the internal issues and internal plus external issues. Internal issues, restructuring of Nigeria remain an internal issue. Why independence of different country or different nation in Nigeria become an external issues. So these issues must be separated. And this is where we are calling you to start separating them. If you don't know before, you have to know it now. That international community has no deal in the internal issue of Nigeria. Just like during the election, when the Lai Mohammed and the co will be saying that this is an internal issue. America should leave us alone with our internal issue. They forgot that Obama influenced the 2015 election. Obama was the reason why Goodluck Jonathan just gave up and abdicated his position in 2015. It was because of the involvement of Obama administration. I wouldn't say it was because of involvement of America, because that was never the collective. It was never a collective idea of the Americans. Rather, it was a collective idea of Obama, of a section of Obama administration. So Goodluck Jonathan, instead of going to to intellectual war or diplomatic war with America, he decided to abdicate his position as president. Everybody knows that election did not take place. That election took place in 2015, but everybody knows what JEGA did. Everybody knows what INEC did. So there is no need to go into forensic analysis, analyzing the electoral materials, and going into the cyber war, or however you call it. So Goodluck Jonathan decided, because of that involvement of Obama, he decided not to go into any diplomatic issues with anybody. He abdicated his position. So today, I have come to do justice to those who claim they are intellectuals, and the only thing they do is to go about and parade themselves and sabotage the struggle for Biafra. Let everybody, most of us who are in diaspora, let us be writing for total restoration of Biafra, total independence of Biafra, and nothing more. Not when A is writing independence of Biafra, B is writing restructure, and when you look at the name, you are coming from the same region. That is sabotage. So you know fully well that your actions, your act is act of sabotage, but you continue to do it. That is what we are asking that you should stop. See, that is if you don't know before. If you claim you don't know that your action constitutes sabotage, you know it today. Now, when I was making my live broadcast the other day, I told you that Nigeria breed criminals. And then some people came to my inbox. They started to comment, registering their displeasure of that assertion that Nigeria breed criminal, as if it is not true. Now, I want you to listen to another learned colleague, another learned friend, another learned person explaining how Nigeria breed criminals. Now, and remember, the only thing that will stop these criminals from coming out from that region is Nigeria disintegration, because it will change a lot of things. Now, I want you to listen to this.
You're spending nothing less than 60% of your income educating your children. My father did not spend 5% of his income educating me because the Nigerian state had a functional educational system. Even your megats send their children to private schools now. Nobody goes to the government hospitals anymore. Everybody. So when Abiola was talking, he was still talking within a system that had some measure of normalcy, within which people could function as human beings. The average Nigerian has been dehumanized to the point where you can even begin to question his humanity. It is the abandonment of the people to their own fate and the erection of a system that exists solely for the protection of the powerful and the promotion of their interest. Who is looking for the poor man? And the poor man, having lost the capacity to think because he had been impoverished ab initio by the weaponization of ignorance. An ignorant man is doomed to poverty. When you have now gone to the point where the average man on the Nigerian street does not even know what he can do to drag himself out of the perpetual poverty into which he had been locked by the system, even when you try to do a friend of mine said the other day, he said almost every avenue for legitimate improvement in Nigeria has been blocked off. It's almost as if you are even being begged to go and become a criminal by the state itself, because you'll be punished for your honesty by the Nigerian state. So,
have you seen it? Did you hear that? Did you hear that? The truth of the matter is that, you see, when we talk, we don't just talk. We don't just talk. We talk with facts. You see, I came the other day to say that Nigeria breeds criminals. Somebody in the US, somebody in the US was not happy. And the fact is that he was not happy out of ignorance, because he don't know what I was talking about. So of course he felt so angered. Why should I say that Nigeria breed criminal, that he's using Nigeria passport? You see, a lot of people get angry because of ignorance of the issue or the topic in question. Now, listen to this, our brother, how he said it. He said that the Nigeria state are compelling people into going to commit crime. In fact, he is saying that the Nigeria state has blocked legitimate business. And when they blocked legitimate business, they now compel you and open you the door to go into crime. And when you listen, he's not just making it up. That is the fact. Now, I want you to listen and listen again. And you know why we are coming here to shout like this? Before as we are doing simultaneously, other things are taking place in diplomacy, in this agitation for Biafra, is because of what this brother said. Because an average person in Nigeria, your brain is not functional anymore. You need people to talk sense into your brain because of the system. The on purpose made the system to make your brain dysfunctional, that your brain can no longer comprehend anything. So we need to awaken you. We need to talk sense to you. We need to analyze. We need to come down just to the basics, whatever we do, so that you will understand the predicament you are into. A lot of you don't even know the predicament you are into, and it's quite surprising. Like, people don't. How can we be in diaspora telling you your problem? Don't you see that it is somehow very worrisome? Because you wear the shoe, you know where the shoe pains you. But because we understand the system itself, we have volunteered to come to see how to liberate your mental slavery. So now let us listen to this, our brother, again.
Can even begin to question his humanity. It is the abandonment of the people to their own fate and the erection of a system that exists solely for the protection of the powerful and the promotion of their interest. Who is looking for the poor man? And the poor man, having lost the capacity to think because he had been impoverished ab initio by the weaponization of ignorance. An ignorant man is doomed to poverty. When you have now gone to the point where the average man on the Nigerian street does not even know what he can do to drag himself out of the perpetual poverty into which he had been locked by the system, even when you try to do, a friend of mine said the other day, he said almost every avenue for legitimate improvement in Nigeria has been blocked off. It's almost as if you are even being begged to go and become a criminal by the state itself.
You see that? They have done the state in a way that the state, it's as if, not as if. You see, where this my brother, get it a little bit wrong is that he said it is as if the government, which is the state, is begging its citizens to go into crime. You see, when you hear the cyber criminals pumping in billions of dollars into Nigeria, the government, they have politicians who are their friends, who they know how to do it, inject the money into the country, because the legitimate money is never enough. The money they get from crude oil is never enough. So when you see somebody in Dubai, duping about almost 2 million people, bringing 168 billion, and having 168 billion, the government will expect him to inject it into the economy. You see? And they will not fight those kind of people, except when the FBI, begin to ring bell. They will begin exonerate themselves. So the system itself is compelling the citizens to go into crime. Like they are begging, the system is begging the people in Dubai to go into cyber crime. You see, the system is compelling those in those committing crime all over the world to go into criminal act. It is not listing. They did not start that crime in the country where they committed the crime. They started it in Nigeria. So Nigeria is begging and encouraging them to go into criminal. Into crime. When I say Nigeria breed criminals, people don't understand. And believe me, if you like, I will be bringing other opinions that will be justifying my position. Because I did not listen to this, my brother, before coming to that conclusion. But it is something that every person who is very independent in reasoning and thinking should know about. If you are sentimental, then you will never think this far. But if you are totally independent in your reasoning, you will agree with this fact. And believe me, this person you are hearing is also a legal practitioner, is a lawyer, if I'm not mistaken. Now let us
what he can do to drag himself out of the perpetual poverty into which he had been locked by the system. Even when you try to do, a friend of mine said the other day, he said almost every avenue for legitimate improvement in Nigeria has been blocked off. It's almost as if you are even being begged to go and become a criminal by the state itself, because you'll be punished for your honesty by the Nigerian state. So exactly what are we talking about? Because in the age in which he lived, Nigeria had not become the predatory state that it has become today. What you will find today is that the Nigerian state has deliberately weaponized poverty against...
I want to also let you understand. I want you to write something down. He said that Nigeria state will punish you if you are honest. If you are honest person, Nigeria state will punish you. So that is to tell you that Nigeria breed criminal. And I'm going to prove to you this evening that if you are honest, Nigeria state will punish you. So they want you to be criminal. That is how they breed criminal. Now let us listen to the end, and then I will come to tell you, to prove to you how the state of Nigeria punishes those who are honest.
Its people. I use the word it because you really can't call Nigeria a motherland. If it were to be a mother, it would be a cannibalistic mother. And if he's a father, he's a most irresponsible father. You have 14 million children trampling the streets of Nigeria. Most of them drug addicted. No future, nothing in front of them. Walking the street. That is the population of a lot of countries. What about your guards? What about all the people who walk around you? COVID is the leveler. Everybody will address this. But here is the point. As long as we continue to fool ourselves into thinking that we can somehow appoint wolves to guard the flock and then expect that the wolves will become vegetarians, we deny the evidence of our own eyes. We see these things and yet we deny it. Oshio Omole spoke these words. They're out in the open, it's all over the place, and yet the same man comes out and is preaching to the people that the man he testified was a thief. Anyway, thinking about it though, How can Oshie Omole testify to the character of anybody? Okay. How does that change the price of palm oil in the market or change the...
Now, there is something I want to, before we go further, there is something I want you to pay attention to what I'm about to do now. I want you to pay attention. Remember, the topic now we are discussing now is that Nigeria breed criminals, and the international community should know this. Nigeria breed criminal. Apart from they are sponsoring terrorism and all that, Nigeria is already a failed state, and they breed criminals. And so that is why it is very important for you to always exonerate yourself that you are Biafra. That is, if you are a Biafra. Anywhere you find yourself, don't agree, don't accept that you are a Nigeria. Denounce Nigeria. Denounce your Nigeria ship. Denounce your Nigeria ship in the front and presence of any authority in the world. First of all, tell them you are not a Nigerian. You are a Nigerian by force, and that you are fighting to go out of Nigeria. That the spirit of criminality in Nigeria is following you, even when you are innocent. This criminality that accompanies Nigeria as a name is following you. So for your information, immigration officer, for your information, police officer, I am an Oduduwa man first. I am a Biafra man first. And then you can say, by citizenship, at the moment, I have Nigeria passport. But please, I am not a criminal. Now, you remember that the president himself went to went to one of the countries, was this in the UK or so, to tell a foreign mainstream media that Nigerians are criminals and Nigerians are lazy. Nigeria youth are criminals and Nigeria youth are lazy. And when I'm now repeating it now, you know, some people don't like it. But I'm telling you, I am bringing down evidences to show you that how Nigeria breed criminal. First of all, you've heard from this man, you know, how the Nigeria state reject those who are honest and they accept criminals. Now, I want you to let us listen here before I go to the next video what I'm going to do.
Legitimate improvement in Nigeria has been blocked off. It's almost as if you are even being begged to go and become a criminal by the state itself, because you will be punished for your honesty by the Nigerian state. So exactly what are we talking about?
Now, you heard it. You will be punished by your honesty by the Nigeria state. Now, I want to show you the example of this being punished for your honesty by Nigeria state. I want to show you. I want to prove to you being punished by your honesty, being punished for being honesty by Nigeria state. Now let me show you. Our own is that we the broken English they show. We will be showing you the evidences and you'll be seeing it. I'm not here to tell you a story. Now watch.
Past acting managing director Joy Nunez arrived late for the hearing and was asked to speak with the media. She dropped a bombshell when, in the extensive briefing, she told journalists that the Minister of Niger Delta Affairs engineered her removal from office for failing to dance to his tunes.
He makes any payment in NDDC without Godwin Akpabio's approval. When we first came to NDDC.
Now, you are watching the example of if you are honest, the Nigeria state will punish you. So now you are listening to is it the chairlady or manager or a former acting managing director of whatever. But the fact here is that she was being honest, and now the Nigeria state is punishing her. First of all, she is now ex. So which means they punish her for being honest. She refused to engage in fraud with Akpabio. Akpabio tried everything to compel this woman to commit crime, as why she discharged her duty as a managing director of something. Now she refused. On several occasions, she refused to indulge in fraudulent activities, and for that reason, they expelled her. That is to show you how you know, if you are honest, the system will punish you. So I'm just I am just bringing to you the evidence of how, or a demonstration of how the system is going to punish you for being an honest Nigerian. So if this woman has agreed to serve the fraudulent activities of Akpabio, she will be made she will be made the overall chairlady at the end of the day. She will become the managing director of everything. So now listen to her.
On the day of going for the inauguration, he told me in the car that, Madam MD, if you don't do what I say, the same pen with which I used to sign your letter, it will be the same pen that I will use to remove you. He said the first thing I should do when I get to Port Harcourt is to change the dollars in the NDDC account. I was scared to do that. After that, he came to Port Harcourt 2 days after the inauguration. He said the first thing I should do is to make sure I change the dollars. I should remove Mr. Kaltungo from being legal and send him on compulsory retirement. That we cannot have a northerner be the head of the legal team, of the legal unit. He said I should remove all the other directors that refused to take his instruction during the time of Mrs. Agwagaga. That's the predecessor before I came. So he came also with a draft, which I submitted, with a draft letter that I should write and put it on my letterhead, implicating Senator Webushi for collecting contracts in NDDC. I told him that I will not, I'm a lawyer, and that whoever alleges must prove. The fact that Senator Webushi is giving us trouble as IMC, you remember also that they did not recognize the IMC. I said I will not do that letter. He said I was ungrateful and I refused to do the letter. Dr. Cairo now said that he will do the letter. If Akpabio tells him to kill, he will kill before he asks, why did he kill?
Did you see that? This woman refused everything Akpabio did to make her commit crime. Because that is what the system encourages. You just hear that, my brother, analyzing how Nigeria system encourages crime, encourages the citizen to go into criminal activities. You see, now, and he also said that if you being honest, the system will punish you. Now, you see, you hear this woman telling you how a doctor now was ready to kill for Akpabio. In fact, the doctor said he will even kill before Akpabio will give the order to go and kill. You see, that is the criminality of the system of Nigeria. Now, a doctor was telling a woman that he is going to kill for somebody. And this is a doctor who went to school to study, to see how to bring positive change to the system. He badged a doctorate degree. I don't know which of the doctor, whether it's a medical doctor or a doctorate degree or whatever. But all those education in Nigeria has recruited him to go into criminal activity. And he has become a criminal. And is even ready to take human life just to please his oga. Even without the oga asking, he will go and kill somebody. You see? But listen to what they do to this woman.
I said, for me, I will not do the letter. At that place, there was Mr. Etiebet, who was the only staff of the NDDC that was present at that meeting. When he finished, he now asked Dr. Cairo to go and send for the letter-headed paper from the office. They now sent for the letter-headed paper. Dr. Cairo now did the letter, which I've also submitted to the committee, alleging that Senator Wabushi had contracts. Then he said, I must sign the cover letter. I said, if I signed any document from me seen by Mr. President, he will believe every line of it. So I will only write that the EDP, who should know about projects, have gone. The next thing that he told me, he said, I must make sure that all these people leave and that the procurement, because apparently, Ekpa Biafra, before I came, when himself and Festus Keyamo were ministers, their first meeting at the commission, he was awarded 30 contracts for distilling and water hyacinth. Mr. Linus, who was the director finance, refused to sign because it did not follow due process. He also said that I should implicate the chairman of the House Committee, because the chairman of the House Committee had gone to Ondo State for a meeting to plan against him. Water hyacinth and distilling. They said that the board...
Now, for those of you who still come to my inbox to tell me I was wrong, or that, I was too straightforward on my submission that Nigeria breeds criminals, are you still doubting me? Are you still doubting me, or are you now going to hide your face in shame? Because you are just hearing a woman who was a managing director of the Niger Delta, whatever she was, and telling you what a minister of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, the kind of crime the minister of a Federal Republic of Nigeria wanted to compel her into committing. A minister appointed by the president of Nigeria. You see, this is the one somebody have the gut to come and tell in the public. Because if the woman did not tell this now, this narrative may not be complete. It may be that I will just only play the part where that man was telling you how the system encourages Nigerians to go into crime. And then, I will only play when the man said that if you are honest, the system will come against you. You see? So maybe if this woman did not confess this, I may not have a video to prove it to you. But thank God, there is a video. And believe me, there are, as you see, Nigeria population is 200 million. There are millions of this to be reviewed. When somebody have the guts to come and say it. Now, let us continue.
Budget for water hyacinth and distilling was, I think, for about 3 to 5 billion. I'm not sure exactly how much. But that the NDDC, before I came, had overstretched itself to about 50 billion for water hyacinth and distilling. And so the National Assembly had written us, they have it also, they had written us that we should not pay for anything like that. He said, and guess what? Ekpa Biafra never signs any documents. He will always refuse to sign, but he will tell you to go and commit the fraud. For instance, he told me to go and raise a memo and give an emergency contract for flood victims. He wanted me to take an oath. He has denied that, but I want to say today, he told me up to 3 times until we had a reconciliation meeting at the villa in the house of Mr. Sadiki Abba, who is the SA to the president on domestics. In that meeting was Alhaji Mekano. He said the only condition was if I take the oath. I refused to take the oath, and I did not take that oath. And I will never take the oath from him. So he said he was going to remove me. He started a campaign of calumny against me. He said I did not answer him because the facts will speak for itself. Now, to end this matter about the procurement process, I refuse to go with him to deceive Mr. President at the FEC meeting, because the Procurement Act says if I contravene any section of the Procurement Act, it's 5 years imprisonment without an option of fine. So if I go and say they should pay for the process, if you see, They say it's for 2020 budget. Akpabio went to get the approval from FEC. The 2020 budget has not even been discussed by the National Assembly till today. The 2020 budget has not been passed. However, he lied to FEC, which is the greatest embarrassment in this country, for a budget that has not been passed, for an approval to be given for that.
Somebody is commenting. You see, somebody probably who is a fan of Akpabio is telling me on this program now not to believe everything this woman was saying. He don't know that I have also done my own finding. You see, if you do not want me to believe what the woman was saying, are you also going to dispute the fact that Akpabio went to fake meeting with a faked and forged and manipulated document when the National Assembly has not discussed the budget? Is that one also not to be believed? Because, of course, you can begin to dispute, what happened between them, like going to take oath or not take oath, or sign paper or not sign paper. That you can begin to dispute. But there are things the woman is saying that you cannot dispute because it is there. It is in the public domain. Did Akpabio went to the FEC meeting or not? He went to the FEC meeting. Did he present something or not? He presented something. Was it according to was it a procedural rule? Was it in due process? Did he follow due process before presenting that thing? The answer is no. So why are you telling me not to believe everything the woman is saying? Let us believe the one we have fact. Because this one now is fact. So are you going to say that Akpabio did not go to FEC meeting, which he wanted the woman to go and lie to Mr. President? You see? So these are the problem. These are the problem. You are here telling me not to commenting, and if we check now, you are fighting for Biafra. You are here telling me not to believe everything the woman is saying. I'm not saying I'm believing everything the woman is saying, but I'm believing almost all of them the woman is saying, because when you go to court of law, they give judgment by logics. It is what the logics. And then, of course, those who have evidences. The woman is giving you detailed, she's a lawyer also. She's giving you a detailed explanation of what transpired. Akpabio, I have watched, only came to start to say, we laid her off because she did not go to NYSC. She presented NYSC document is not there. Does that remove the fact, or does that dispute the fact that Akpabio went to fake meeting with a manipulated document? Does what the woman is or was, or her qualification, or whether she went to NYSC or not, does it dispute the fact that Akpabio went to deceive the presidency? You see, there are way somebody like me reason. I don't reason like you. First of all, I have to remove fact from all these fictions. Now, if the woman did not have qualification, is a different thing. But the issue now here is not whether she have qualification or not. The issue here is that did Akpabio go to fake meeting to deceive the president? That is the question here. And if he did go, that's a crime, because he have presented a fraudulent document. Now listen to the woman again.
An emergency contract for flood victims. He wanted me to take an oath. He has denied that, but I want to say today, he told me up to 3 times until we had a reconciliation meeting at the villa in the house of Mr. Sadiki Abba, who is the SA to the president on domestics. In that meeting was Alaji Mekano. He said the only condition was if I take the oath. I refused to take the oath, and I did not take that oath. And I will never take the oath from him. So he said he was going to remove me. He started a campaign of calumny against me. He said I did not answer him because the facts will speak for itself. Now, to end this matter about the procurement process, I refuse to go with him to deceive Mr. President at the FEC meeting, because the Procurement Act says if I contravene any section of the Procurement Act, it's 5 years imprisonment without an option of fine. So if I go and say they should pay for the process, if you see, they say it's for 2020 budget. Akpabio went to get the approval from FEC. The 2020 budget has not even been discussed by the National Assembly till today.
Now, that's the bombshell. Akpabio went to get approval from the FEC. Did he get the approval or not? That is the question. Now, somebody, please, if people are asking me to block somebody, Emeka Uche or something, we are not going to block him. He said that I'm a rebel. Please, the kind of broadcast I'm doing today is the type that will put some people to shame. It is the type that will put this kind of Emeka Uche of a guy to shame. So what you have to do is, if you must attack, just attack him personally, but let him stay, so that by the end of the program, he will go and sleep, and maybe he may not sleep today because the shame will be too much. So we are not blocking anybody. Let all the people that are supporting Akpabio come, so that after the whole broadcast today, which is the crime, because anybody that comes to support Akpabio, like what I'm doing here, remember that I said Nigeria breed criminals, and they are part of the criminal that Nigeria breeded, or Nigeria breeds. So those people that are coming here to say Simon is a rebel and all that, they are the product of this criminality we are talking about. Because how can you see something bad and you support it, irrespective of who is involved? How? Why would you see something that is crime, you want to support it, irrespective of who is involved? So they are the product of Nigeria. These are the people that are spoiling your name. These are the people that support the evil that is going on in Nigeria, and that is why Nigeria can never work. When you see a youth, a young man, coming on social media to shamefully support people who looted the economy of Nigeria, which was the reason he can't go to hospital, which is the reason he did not go to a good school, which is the reason his children, if you have children, or if you have a wife, the future children, their life is not guaranteed, which is the reason they don't have good education in Nigeria. He will come online with his half-baked education to defend people who have put him in the condition he is today. You see, that is the criminality in a lot of them. So let us not block him. Let us leave him for shame to catch him. But if you must attack him personally. So let us not go and block him. Let them stay here and listen to the gospel truth, because this truth we are saying, we are telling them, it stab them in the heart like a knife. So we are not going to block them today, especially on this particular broadcast. Now let us listen to the woman to the end.
The 2020 budget has not been passed. However, he lied to FEC, which is the greatest embarrassment in this country, for a budget that has not been passed, for an approval to be given for that procurement.
Now, did you hear that? So this one is public information. Did the FEC approve Akpabio's procurement? That is the question left for the FEC people to answer. When the budget has not been passed by the National Assembly, and this woman call it the greatest embarrassment. So those who are saying you cannot believe the woman, I am believing this one, because this is something that is there in the FEC. Did the FEC approve it? The answer is yes. So how did he manage to convince the FEC? Because he provided, or he presented, fake document. And even the FEC themselves, for you to see how incompetence, runs in Nigeria system, because it is, criminal. They breed criminal. They approve something, even knowing fully well that the budget has not been approved. Did you see that?
I refused to go because he wanted me to send the money for the procurement to the ministry to implement the forensic audit. I refused. I am challenging him to deny any of these allegations because I had to round up for you people. But all the facts and all that I've said are all written.
Now, she challenged Akpabio to deny. Akpabio did not deny. The only thing Akpabio did, now, Akpabio did not deny this allegation from this woman. He did not deny it. But let me show you what Akpabio did.
I have to explain this. This is not a personal thing. I'm not going to be there for long. But allow the accusations to come. Let us at least mention.
Instead of Akpabio addressing the issue, the woman raised. No. Because he is the Oga of armed robbers, executive armed robbers. So the Akpabio is the Oga of executive armed robbers. And what he does, you know, what Akpabio did here was to come and begin to present documents, you know, telling them how the woman did not qualify. Now listen.
So I don't want to dwell on your last guest, but I want to just mention one reason. She was not relieved of her appointment because of corruption. She wasn't relieved of her appointment because
why was she relieved?
Because of the reasons. She was relieved of her appointment because of insubordination. My ministry that should supervise her wrote 7 letters to her. She never responded to one. And then, of course, she said she was bigger than the...
And what are the contents of the letter? For those of you who are saying, do not believe what the woman was saying. Now, listen to Akpabio, because here, he already know what the woman said. He have listened to the woman. He knows the allegation of the woman. He did not, and the woman challenged him to come here and deny it. He did not deny it. Rather, he is explaining, or he was explaining what led to the woman, you know, for her job to be, for her to be retrenched, or for them to remove her from the job. Instead of Akpabio to debunk the allegation levied against him. He didn't do that. Now watch.
A minister of Niger Delta.
Okay, insubordination.
Insubordination. I have the letter here.
Okay.
Then outside that, the then chief of staff, may rest in peace, sent this to me. This was a petition from an anti-corruption agency. Insisting that she did not have the requisite qualification to work as an acting managing director of a commission.
Okay, the title of this, if I could read it, if you permit me to do so, a case of non-possession of valid NYSC certificate by Joy Nunye, acting MD of NDDC, an urgent call for redress.
Now, the question is there any specific qualification required for somebody to act as an acting managing director of, to be or to serve as a managing director of this particular, that I don't know because I have not researched on that. But that is the question. The question is, does it, if a president of a country can be elected without a certificate? The CGN of Nigeria is serving as a CGN with affidavit. There is no certificate. And every other politician from the north, nobody have certificate. Now, Akpabio is here parading a document from whatever agency claiming that the woman do not have NYSC certificate. But did he graduate? Is she, or did she graduate from the higher institution? Does this position now require that she must have NYSC certificate? Did the president of Nigeria, the whole president of Nigeria, did he have NYSC certificate? You see, I don't, you know, like I said, I have not checked to know whether managing director of this Niger Delta, whatever, requires the person to have NYSC certificate. But that is a matter of another day. But now, listen to Akpabio.
And this is what she submitted as her only qualification on earth. A letter from Council of Legal Education.
Okay.
Just read what is written there, confirmation.
Yes, this is to confirm that Nunye Joy Yimebe was a student of the Nigerian Law School during the 1989 and 1990 academic session.
Go on.
Yes, and she was mobilized for the National Youth Service Corps program for 1989-1990 service year. She has, however, informed us of the loss of her discharge certificate by a letter dated October 23, 2019.
And this is somebody who was supposed to have finished in 1990. And it is in 2019, a few days to her inauguration, that she's informing us through a letter from law school, not through a letter from NYSC. And now she went...
If I can still hold on to this.
You will. Yeah. This is her affidavit.
Is it not, you see, the question here is not whether she is bringing in... the question here, was that document issued by an institution? And was the signatory verifiable? Or was it forged? This idea, you see, you people are really insulting us. You people are really, you have insulted us enough. You see, you are insulting our intelligence. You see, the question here is it's not whether she presented document before, a day before she was inaugurated or whatever, but does that document emanated from an institution, a recognized institution in Nigeria? Was the signature in that document verifiable, or was it fake? This is the thing. If the document was coming from an institution of higher learning, a reputable one for that matter, and the signature in that document is verifiable, then what is the problem with you? What is the difference between that document and what the president of Nigeria presented? What is the difference between that document and what the CGN presented? You see, but because you have made it very clear, if she do not engage in this corruption and criminality, you are going to sack her. You are going to work everything to make sure they sack her. That is what this our brother said. Look, that was exactly what this our brother said. This our brother.
Improvement in Nigeria has been blocked off. It's almost as if you are even being begged to go and become a criminal by the state itself, because you will be punished for your honesty by the Nigerian state. So exactly what are we talking about?
You see, you will be punished by your honesty by Nigeria state. And that's exactly what is happening to this woman. And Ekpa Biafra is the one, piloting this punishment because of honesty of the woman. Now, I want to ask, does this being a managing director require that you have NYSC certificate? I believe that in Nigeria of today, before you can be appointed, I don't think there is anything that require you to have NYSC certificate, except all this kind of Minister of Finance, like we see. Even I don't know whether that even required that you have because the president himself don't have it. The CGN don't have it. So I don't know how many people serving in Nigeria now have it. I don't even know whether Ekpa Biafra have a genuine one or a forged one. They say he's a lawyer, but these are the Nigerian lawyers we are talking about.
Handwriting, which she applied before the law school for a letter. Look at that.
All right, this is written in longhand.
Yes.
So
you take your time and go through it.
Yes, I will.
She alleged that she had
a letter of introduction to NYSC.
Yes, that they should give her a letter of introduction from law school to NYSC. Okay. That she had lost her NYSC certificates, and this is the affidavit.
Okay, apparently,
this is the affidavit she swore to.
Okay.
She swore to an affidavit in court that she lost her NYSC certificate in 2002. If you open the next page, you will see that is the police extract from the police post in law school in 2019 October, and it is that extract comes from.
Now tell me, all these things that Ekpa Biafra is presenting, of what essence? I don't know what. Is there any similarity or? All these things that Ekpa Biafra is presenting to this journalist, instead of debunking the allegation levied, a very strong allegation already for the allegation alone, that is 5 years imprisonment is waiting for him. 5 years. plus other years that will come from other crime, other criminal activities that he has engaged in as a minister. So now, instead of Akpabio to engage the claim of the woman, he decided not to go there because the woman told him if he debunk or dispute it, she's going to come out with evidences and all that. Akpabio did not do that. Akpabio started bringing documents. What does this document mean? The document the woman presented to Nigeria authority. The same Nigeria authority issued the documents to her. The same institution issued the documents to her. She did not go to Oluwole like they did to this Minister of Finance from London. She did not go to Oluwole. That is all the documents she presented is a verifiable document from institution in Nigeria. She was not in London when somebody went to Oluwole to get a NYSC certificate for her. Do you understand the logic here? But let us continue.
Mr. Ebenezer, who married to the sister, whom she said did not open the door for her to enter and take her certificate. But that is the same man that went to the police post to say that she had informed him that she lost her certificate.
Okay, and so in addition to insubordination.
No, let me come now. I want to give you another document.
Okay. You
have a letter from the Nigerian NYSC itself.
I can see that you're very well prepared. You've brought all kinds of documents,
Yes, he's very prepared because that is what he does. Like you just heard that woman saying that he will never want to sign any document. If a man who went as far as trying to implicate his own kinsman, Senator Nwoboshi also, he can do anything. He can even go to NYSC and pay the millions to write that they did not write that they did not give the woman, or they don't know who the woman is. He can do that. He's a minister of Nigeria, and that is where we are telling you that Nigeria breed criminals. That is why if you try to be honest to the system will fight against you. And that's exactly what is happening. Now let us continue.
For us to peruse, but
this is just read this. Please read the last paragraph.
All right.
This is from the National Youth Service Corps,
NYSC.
Just read that
the photocopy. However, no record exists either in NYSC Kwara State or NYSC National Directorate headquarters to evidence her participation in the scheme.
I raised my case, so I don't want to discuss her because that is not the job of a minister.
Was she moved after these findings?
She was moved after these findings. If something comes up that you were not aware of, that the person occupying a position, just like the former Minister of Finance, did not have an NYSC certificate. You know our law, either exemption or otherwise. What do you do? So
this is where the whole thing is confusing. First of all, you say you know our law. I don't know whether the law require everybody to have NYSC certificate before you can occupy a position, because as far as I'm concerned, a lot of people in Nigeria don't have NYSC and they are occupying the positions. Another thing is that knowingly presenting false document is different. The Minister of Finance did present documents that were false. That is totally different. She was not expelled because she did not go to NYSC. That's a different case entirely. Had it been that during the time she accepted to be Minister of Finance and she did not present NYSC certificate, and now you are telling her to go back to London because she don't have NYSC certificate, then we will have something to argue about. But now, the case is not that, okay, she did not present, but she presented NYSC certificate that was fake, that was forged. And she did not know about it. She was, she was deceived into going into bringing that NYSC certificate as part of the requirement, or what were required of her to be accepted or appointed as minister. But the question now is this: what could have happened had it been that she did not present the NYSC certificate at all? Would the president himself ordinarily have or could have given her a waiver to occupy that position or not? The answer is yes. The president could have appointed her without the NYSC certificate for the interest of the nation. Even if the requirement is that, who made the requirement? Who made the requirement? Who is the requirement of a finance minister, that he must have a NYSC certificate in the Constitution of Nigeria? I have not researched on that, but I'm telling you now that even if the Constitution of the Federation of the Nigeria have it, that for you to be a minister of finance, you must have NYSC certificate, the president could have given her a waiver. As a chief executive, as the commander-in-chief, the president himself could have given her, if she is very competent in her job, should have given her that waiver. And of course, Nigerians don't, most of you don't know this. So, now, but the problem she had was that she presented a fake document. That's a crime. That's a crime. It's called forgery. There is nothing you can do about it. Presenting a fake document is crime. It's criminal. You can't run away from it. Whether you are in negligence or that it is out of negligence or not. It doesn't concern anybody. You have the responsibility. You owe that. You are responsible for your own action. So whether you know about it or you don't know about it, it is not an excuse in the eye of the law. But if she do not present any paper at all from the NYSC, the president should have given her, for example, a waiver to continue as a finance minister. Now, what we are talking about here is totally different. Totally different. Did the woman present any document from any NYSC document? The answer is no. Now, the same woman presented a document from the institution, legal, whether it's from the law school or so, that she participated and she was to go to the NYSC service. And she presented that document. Now, go and verify whether the letter was actually coming from that institution or not. That is number one step. Number two step, it doesn't matter what NYSC, what they wrote about her, whether she was there or not. At least she have not presented any document that that NYSC are denying. This is the logic here. She have not presented a document that from the NYSC that the NYSC come to say we are not aware of this document or this document was not issued by us. So you have to separate that. And Pabio, of course, I don't know how he does his business, but anyway. But he did not even address the allegation against him, but rather he picked on the woman and started bringing document, and he never addressed the document, the allegation. Remember, the allegations are many, but I picked the approval of NEC. Did Pabio went to NEC to convince and lie to NEC and get the approval for a budget that has not been approved by the National Assembly? That is the highest fraud. And he succeeded in doing that.
I think the problem here is you have to blame my heart. I'm very soft. Maybe because I have 4 daughters, I love women.
You love women.
So what happened is that I decided that this should not be made public. So
I just have been hard on her by actually sacking her. But
no, I didn't sack her.
Let's come back. Let's come back.
Approve her replacement. We didn't sack her. We needed to replace her because of the fact that she needs to explain these things. So we invite her to your studio and let her bring her certificates here and show you, and then come to us and tell us, oh, this is my NYSC. You can go and get certified true copy. I don't want people coming down and then trying to throw mud at other people because of personal reasons. Because the slander and slanderous allegations and all that she was making had no basis.
But has she answered to this?
No,
question?
Even that alone we wrote to her. She has not answered to today. Okay. But I'm showing you her handwriting. Ask her whether that is not her handwriting. How can you swear to an affidavit? That is perjury. But nobody has charged her. That is to show you that nobody is shunting her. That's why I said she needs to calm down and then reassess herself.
He said nobody have charged her. In Nigeria, he said nobody have charged her. But that's why they are telling her to calm down. Because they think that he can intimidate the woman by presenting all these things. And then at the same time, because when you listen, let me tell you, as you are listening to him, this statement he made now is a statement made by highly, high rank criminals. He want to use an intimidating word, to see how to lure the woman. When he say that nobody has charged her, that's why they are telling her to calm down. It means that, he is giving the woman a green light. That, hey, come on, you can, keep your mouth shut and come back, let us iron this out. That is a proposal. That is a proposal he's giving to this woman. This last word, he was a proposal to the woman that, hey, calm down. That is for those who understand. Now, for those who always shout about a constitution, how they want to restructure Nigeria, how restructuring Nigeria is going to work, and all that. And again, today I'm going to revisit my brother again, because a lot of people have been following so many of them blindly, and you can see a lot of blackmail against Mazi Nnamdi Kanu these days popping up here and there. So there is need to discuss this issue once in a while and put all these things to rest. Now I want you to pay attention to the video I'm about to play now, and then I am going to tell you something. Now listen.
Since they have made us know, understand their mindset, that they are willing to help to restructure Nigeria, but there is something contained in the letter they sent to us. That letter was signed by this Boris Johnson when he was the Secretary of State, Foreign Secretary of State. That was 2018 when we sent that our proposal. There's something he mentioned in that letter. He said that the issue of restructuring Nigeria into the 6 countries is something that has to be debated in the parliament in a democratic way. So our senators should move it like a bill, a motion to be debated. It has to be democratic. Therefore, it's no longer in our hands, but in the hands of our politicians. Can our politicians move that motion? I have discussed with some of our senators, and they are telling me there are some difficulties. I don't quite understand the difficulties, and I'm not there. But I remember I quoted Section 4 of the Constitution of Nigeria that says that the National Assembly has the power to make law for the peace and good governance of Nigeria. They have to make a law that will bring peace.
Now, this is where a lot of people are being misled. This, my brother, you just watch now, like has always been campaigning, and the only section of the Constitution he has made reference to why he is going to court, from one court to another, trying to restructure Nigeria, is always in Section 4 of the 1999 Constitution as amended. You see, what this my brother refused to understand is that Nigeria already have law that could bring peace and unity. Do you know the argument he's using to tell you why you need restructuring? Do you know the argument? The argument is that if you restructure Nigeria, peace will come. The argument is that if the National Assembly invokes Section 4 and enact law that will bring peace and unity, peace will come. I want to play the video a little bit so you understand what I'm talking about.
Consider. But they are thinking about breaking up Nigeria. They said they don't want that, and they will fight to keep Nigeria one. So looking at the realities on the ground, what do we do? Can we fight with the world powers? Because they don't care. Even if the war starts again, they don't care that the whole Igbo nation will be wiped off. All they want is their economic interest. So, since they have made us know, understand their mindset, that they are willing to help to restructure Nigeria, but there is something contained in the letter they sent to us. That letter was signed by this Boris Johnson when he was the Secretary of State, Foreign Secretary of State. That was 2018 when we sent that our proposal. There's something he mentioned in that letter. He said that the issue of restructuring Nigeria into the 6 countries is something that has to be debated in the parliament in a democratic way. So our senators should move it like a bill, a motion to be debated. It has to be democratic. Therefore, it's no longer in our hands, but in the hands of our politicians. Can our politicians move that motion? I have discussed with some of our senators, and they are telling me there are some difficulties. I don't quite understand the difficulties, and I'm not there. But I remember I quoted Section 4 of the Constitution of Nigeria that says that the National Assembly has the power to make law for the peace and good governance of Nigeria. They have to make a law that will bring peace. The only law that can bring peace now to Nigeria is a law restructuring Nigeria into 6 countries, autonomous countries in one Nigeria. If they make that law, I tell you, and in fact I can bet on it, if they make that law, there will be peace in Nigeria because every region will govern itself as it was in 1963.
Now, this man is telling you that if they make law to restructure Nigeria, there will be peace. So you see how these people are misleading people. This man is telling you now that if they make this law, if the National Assembly enact law that will bring peace, that this law will bring peace, that this law will bring peace. I want to show you something. Now, probably, this man don't know the Constitution of Nigeria. This Emeka Emekesiri don't have knowledge. Or he don't, but he's a lawyer, I respect him. But he don't, for him to say this means that he don't have knowledge of the Constitution of Nigeria. I'm very sorry to say that. Because he's a lawyer. He was telling me the other day that he is a barrister of a Supreme Court of Nigeria. And he is saying if they make law, if they enact this law, that will bring peace. Now, I want to tell you this. The Constitution of Nigeria is law, right? The Constitution of Nigeria is law already. And the sections of the Constitution of Nigeria already was designed to bring peace. But today, that Constitution is not functional. And that is what this my brother don't do. Now, let me go and read this section 4 that he is talking about, which gave the National Assembly the rights to enact laws. And he is talking about restructuring, that the National Assembly should enact law to restructure Nigeria. And again, I am letting him to know that in the Constitution of Nigeria, you already have a law that's supposed to bring peace to Nigeria. But that law is not being respected. That the law is void. That the law is not functional. Now, let me read that section 4. The section 4 read, the legislative powers of the Federal Republic of Nigeria shall be vested in a National Assembly for the Federation, which shall consist of a Senate and a House of Representatives. Then the National Assembly shall have power to make laws for the peace, order, and good governance of the Federation, or any part thereof with respect to any matter included in the exclusive legislative list set out in part 1 of the second schedule to this Constitution. Now, I do not need to read further. Now, this is the part that this Emeka Emekesiri has been going about to preach to people how the Senate have power to enact law, that immediately you enact that law, everything is fine, peace will come back to Nigeria. But let me now, because it as if he is not getting it. He's not getting it. Or that, I don't understand. He's not getting it. Now, let me go to section 14. Let me go to section 14 of this same constitution. So you understand the confusion in some people. Now, section 14 is this. The section 14 read. I'm not going to read section 14.1. Let me start by section 14 2A to C. 2A to C. Section 14, subsection 2A to C. 2A read, sovereignty belongs to the people of Nigeria from whom this government through this constitution derive all its powers and authority. The sovereignty and welfare of the people shall be the primary purpose of the government, and the participation by the people in their government shall be ensured in accordance with the provision of this constitution. Now, this is where this Emeka Emekesiri should go and get himself informed or educated on this constitution. Now, here is the constitution. Because to Nigeria, and I am telling him that Nigeria already have law that should bring peace. And that law that should bring peace in Nigeria is located or found in section 14, subsection 3 of this 1999 constitution as amended. Emeka Emekesiri and his group, they are not getting it. And I want to continue to talk sense to them because Nigeria already have law that should bring peace to the country. But the point here is that the constitution, that law, which is to bring peace, is not being respected. That law is not functional. That is what Emeka don't know. The law that should bring peace is not functional. Even if the National Assembly enact a law today to restructure Nigeria, that law will also not be functional. That is the question here. Emeka Emekesiri is not getting it. Now, this section 14, subsection 3 reads, the composition of the government of the Federation or any of its agencies and the conduct of its affairs shall be carried out in such a manner as to reflect federal character of Nigeria, and in the need to promote national unity and also to command national loyalty. You see that? Now, in this section 14, subsection 3, already tell you what the government should do to maintain the national unity, to also enhance the national loyalty, the loyalty to the nation. The government failed to implement this section 14, subsection 3, which is giving appointments that reflect federal character system. And what is so difficult to understand this? The law says that the government of Nigeria the government of the Federation and its agencies and its conduct of its affair shall be carried out in a way to reflect federal character of Nigeria and the need to promote national unity. So when Emeka Emekesiri and his group is saying you need to enact a law to restructure so that you bring unity, you bring peace. What peace are they talking about? What law are you talking about that you don't have already? Let them first of all implement this law that will bring national unity by following section 14, subsection 3 of 1999 Constitution, which says that one particular ethnic group must not carry out or must not dominate in the federal government of Nigeria. Now let us read it to the end. You see, this section continue, thereby ensuring that there shall be no predominance of persons from a few states, or from a few ethnic or other sectional group in that government, or in any of its agencies. You see? So this is the point. You don't need to you have to first of all implement this section 14 subsection 3. It was not implemented. It was violated with impunity. So had it been this government maintain the federal character system, the country will be in peace, even though there will be Boko Haram of killing and all this Fulani. But the country itself, at least, will be in peace because you will have a balanced system that represents the federal character. But that is missing. And MKSRI don't get it. Now, this section 4 read, the composition of the government of a state, a local government council, or any of its agencies of the government or council of the conduct of affairs of the government or council or such agencies shall be carried out in such a manner to recognize diversity of the people within its area of authority, and so on. So, this section is the section that should bring peace and national unity, but they are not following it. So, first of all, MKSRI should see that this constitution, this section 14 subsection 3 of 1999 constitution is respected before you go and start agitating for another law to be enacted. Because the government has not respected the law that you have already, which was designed to bring national unity. They have not respected it. The law is not functional. And you are now saying the National Assembly should go and enact another law that is targeted at bringing peace. And you are trying to deceive people that if this law of restructuring is enacted, it will bring peace. How can it bring peace when you have already a law that should be followed to see there is unity in Nigeria? And that law has been violated, and you as a lawyer, you as a lawyer of the barrister of the Supreme Court of Nigeria, you are not talking about it. You have not done anything about it, about the section 14 subsection 3. Because as I'm talking to you today, the few ethnic minority controls everything in Nigeria. No Igbo-speaking person is found as a security chief. It is worrisome. So do not go, please. If you must continue to, because of course as a man, you must have something doing. So, but if you must continue to have something doing, do not, continue, especially in the UK where you are. Stop writing anybody concerning Nigeria. Channel your energy to the federal government of Nigeria. Take them to court for restructuring. Don't write Boris Johnson. Don't write UK Parliament. Don't write FBI. Don't write America. They don't have business with restructuring of Nigeria. Channel your energy on restructuring to the Nigerian government and take them to court. Do whatever you want to do. Allow those who are fighting for total liberation, for total freedom of Biafra to continue to write to UK, to continue to write to UK Parliament, to continue to write to UK Prime Minister, to continue to write to FBI, to continue to write to CIA, to write to all intelligence in the whole world, to write to America, to write to Israel, to write to wherever they can write to. But let it not be you. And if you must write, then you should write for a total freedom of Biafra and not restructuring of Nigeria. This is all we ask. So in case you are not, because you are not getting it, you keep saying enacting this law will bring peace. That the National Assembly have the power to enact law that will bring peace. You do not read are you not reading the Constitution itself? There are several sections of this Constitution that were targeted. The primary purpose of this law, the primary purpose of most of these laws were actually for national unity, and it has never been respected. It has never been respected. These laws has been violated with impunity for so long. So why are you sabotaging this struggle by writing restructure that it will bring peace? You want to bring peace as if you don't have law that were designed to bring peace in Nigeria. You see, at this point, we are going to be receiving call because these days our broadcast is going to be, very, very plain. But before we go further to bring calls, I want to play the video of that our brother till the end so that you will understand what he said. And remember, I am demonstrating why I said Nigeria breed criminals.
In the age in which he lived, Nigeria had not become the predatory state that it has become today. What you will find today is that the Nigerian state has deliberately weaponized poverty against its people. I use the word it because you really can't call Nigeria a motherland. If it were to be a mother, it would be a cannibalistic mother. And if he's a father, he's a most irresponsible father. You have 14 million children trampling the streets of Nigeria. Most of them drug addicted. No future, nothing in front of them. Walking the street. That is the population of a lot of countries. What about your guards? What about all the people who walk around you? COVID is the leveler. Everybody will address this. But here is the point. As long as we continue to fool ourselves into thinking that we can somehow appoint wolves to guard the flock and then expect that the wolves will become vegetarians, we deny the evidence of our own eyes. We see these things and yet we deny it. Oshio Omole spoke these words. They're out in the open, it's all over the place, and yet the same man comes out and is preaching to the people that the man he testified was a thief. Anyway, thinking about it though, how can Oshio Omole testify to the character of anybody?
Okay.
How does that change the price of mama in the market or change the price of gari for the poor man on the street who is busy battling the problems of COVID-19, the irresponsibilities of government? It's just another distraction. Wake me up the day they formally charge Magu to court like he has been busy chasing small boys, small fries who have stolen 500,000, 200,000, 1 million naira. And the real thieves are around and he knows them, we all know them, and nobody do anything about those ones. So if they have now woken up and they feel that it's time to distract the people and then be chasing Magu around to have some fun, it doesn't interest me. Frankly speaking, it's of no benefit to the Nigerian people. There is nothing there, it's just another distraction. They're having their family squabble. Nothing will happen to Magu. Absolutely nothing will happen to him, I can tell you ahead of time. So please, let's not fool ourselves. It's just a circus. Do not die in their war. It's their war. They have no interest in the people. The same... look, let me put it this way. God forbid that we have to continue abiding with this set of rulers by 2023. But don't be surprised if you find that by 2023, these characters have decided that Nigeria is better ruled by a one-party system that would now encompass each and every one of them, because in reality, you do not have any sort of ideology separating anyone. This is yet another example of the fact that the Nigerian people do not matter in the calculation of the rulers of Nigeria. All that matters to them at any point in time, the only thing that is constant and never shifts, their own interest. Those interests have nothing to do with religion. They don't remember religion when they are identifying their interests. They don't remember tribes. The only people for whom they always emphasize these differences are the people themselves. If you see the way the Nigerian state has dehumanized the Nigerian people to the point where life has become discounted, what you then begin to realize is that before that day will come, several implosions, such as the ones that are already happening, would continue to happen. However, some of us had the benefit of living in Nigeria where it was possible to move across the class line because the state was equitable to an extent. We still dealt with that because I grew up in the age when you began the institutionalization of the madness that has turned Nigeria into the madhouse that it has become today. It was in my age. I was a victim of educationally disadvantaged state, quota stupid systems, all those systems and isms, everything that the institutionalization of the injustice that destroyed the fabric of Nigeria.
Now, let me stop here. But you know, there is one thing I want to play from this video of my brother before we start taking calls. I want you to know. You see, when we begin to come online like this, a lot of people will say, well, you people have been shouting a lot. It's every day you have been shouting, yes, it is time for action, it is time for action. We will continue to make this shouting, even if we reduce the shouting and increase the diplomatic work. This shouting may not stop until Biafra come. You see this awareness we are creating, it may not stop. It may not stop until you hear there is Biafra. Believe me. Do you know why? Do you know why? The reason is that we understand the reason why we have come to be doing this. And I want you to listen to from the beginning so that you understand why there is need for a lot of people to come and do what we are doing now on social media. Very, very important. Now listen to this.
Educating your children. My father, you're spending nothing less than 60% of your income educating your children. My father did not spend 5% of his income educating me because the Nigerian state had a functional educational system. Even your megads send their children to private schools now. Nobody goes to the government hospitals anymore. Everybody. So when Abiola was talking, he was still talking within a system that had some measure of normalcy, within which people could function as human beings. The average Nigerian has been dehumanized to the point where you can even begin to question his humanity. It is the abandonment of the people to their own fate and the erection of a system that exists solely for the protection of the powerful and the promotion of their interest. Who is looking for the poor man? And the poor man, having lost the capacity to...
Now listen, here we go. Here we go. Now listen very, very actively why we may not stop this social media campaign until Biafra come. And some people are saying even Biafra come. Even Biafra come, we may go wrong because a lot of people, millions of Nigerians, millions, like hundreds of millions of Nigeria, their brains are not functional. Now listen to this.
To think because he had been impoverished ab initio by the weaponization of ignorance. An ignorant man is doomed to poverty. When you have now gone to the point where the average man on the Nigerian street does not even know what he can do to drag himself out of the perpetual poverty into which he had been locked by the system, even when you try to do a friend of mine said the other day, he said almost every avenue for legitimate improvement in Nigeria has been blocked off. It's almost as if you are even being begged to go and become a criminal by the state itself because you'll be punished for your honesty by the Nigerian state. So exactly what are we talking about? I was in the age in which...
You see? You see the reason? Of course, on that note, I'm going to take like only five calls. I'm going to take 5 calls, and normally I don't want to take call today, but I'm going to take 5 calls. And then we call it a day. We continue again. Remember, the awareness continues. And this is to prove to you that Nigeria breed criminals. I have proved myself today. Nigeria breed criminals. And I have proved to you also that the system compels you to commit crime. You see, the system compels you to commit crime. The system encourages you to go to become a criminal. And when you are honest, the system will come against you. And the person who will be telling you to go commit crime, to sign fake documents, implicate people and do this and do that, they will make sure they sack you. That is the system of Nigeria. We are not going to bring that to Biafra nation. Biafra is going to be a country governed by rule of law, which you have respect to humanity, respect to human rights, and the rule of law, and we can't tolerate this in Biafra. Biafra is going to be the beginning of the civilization in Africa. Believe me, you will have hospital, you will have social amenities. Biafra will have people from all walks of life coming back to Biafra land from all over the world, where you have Biafra professionals all over the world doing wonders. They will come together to put hands together and build Biafra nation. And like you all have seen and probably must have read in different documents. How the outside world regard Biafra, as very intelligent people and as gifted people. Even the CIA document, the Biafra was said to be gifted people, and they recognize the fact that Nigeria is too envious of Biafra. So Biafra is coming back, and the only solution to the predicament you have today in Nigeria, the only solution to the kind of problem you have today, the insecurity problem, the social amenity problem, is because Nigeria continues to be one country. And as soon as Nigeria is disintegrated, your security, the security of life and properties of people, in those, especially those who find themselves in Biafra, will be guaranteed. You will have a conducive environment for business. Those who have business interest in Biafra, the business interest will be secured, protected, and you will have booming in your business. So the only thing you can do is to denounce Nigeria in spirit, denounce Nigeria in flesh, and always remember, anytime you come encounter with any authority anywhere in the world, identify yourself as a Biafra first, and then second as a Nigeria, because you are using Nigeria passport, especially for those of you using Nigeria passport. For those of you who are not using Nigeria passport, you have the right to identify yourself as a Biafra first, because you already denounced the country and you are seeking for freedom, you are seeking for independence of your country. Let this message spread to the whole world by, first of all, identifying yourself as a Biafra. Don't go and start committing crime in Biafra name, because Biafra is going to be pure. We are going to be pure country. We are going to be one of the best country in the world. Thank you. And now we'll open for telephone calls, and I'm going to take like 5. At least if I have 5 calls, I will call it a day, and we'll continue tomorrow. The line is open for telephone calls, and let us hear your opinion on the issue of Nigeria breeding criminals. Do you think I was wrong? Do you think I was wrong that Nigeria breed criminals? From what I have presented to you this evening, do you think it is wrong to say that Nigeria breed criminals? And do you think it is wrong to denounce Nigeria and accept that, first of all, you found yourself as a Nigeria and now you are opting out? Do you think it is right or wrong to say that Nigeria breed criminals? From what I have shown you this evening, I remember it is an institutionalized corruption in Nigeria, from the president down to the local government council in Nigeria, are all corrupt. They are all criminals. If you think, if you have a contrary view that the country is not breeding criminals, I would love to hear your voice, and let us hear your opinion on why you think the country is not breeding criminals. Especially those who think in that line of argument that that Nigeria is not breeding criminal. I want to hear from you. Somebody has posted the number. Somebody, Collins Eze, has posted the number, and the number has been pinned. Collins Eze posted the number. The number has been pinned by Collins. I have pinned the number posted by Collins Eze. That is the number to call. And those of you watching from YouTube, those of you watching from Twitter, the number to call is +358 5013 88631. Those of you watching from YouTube, let me see if I can put the number on YouTube. Good evening, your name and where you're calling from, please.
Good evening, Mazi Simon.
Good evening.
Mazi Udodrege. Good evening, my brother.
Udodrege.
I appreciate you so much. You are doing a very, 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 very nice job. This is what Hamadike wants from every Biafrans to do so that we can destroy the zoo and go home.
Thank
the
you
zoo
very
must be
much.
destroyed. You are right in everything you are doing. Nigeria is breeding not only but criminal but bad boss as well.
Thank you very much.
And coupled with some international community breeding criminals in Nigeria as well, helping them.
Yes.
But we must surely expose them. We must surely put the record straight so that we remove their hand from Nigeria, so that Nigeria will be dismayed, so that everybody will go their separate way.
Exactly.
So to do so, we'll be calling the names of those countries one by one, so that their citizens will know what they are doing.
Exactly.
Because they are the part of the people that is killing our people as well.
Yes.
Look at what is happening in Ogoni now. We're going to clean up. Every government that come, we are going to clean up. Our people are dying. Go to Iguacha, Port Harcourt, early in the morning, you will see a very black dust. Our people are breathing, having every type of disease. Every type of disease, our people are dying. Why the so-called Fulani Janjaweed are in the north enjoying the wealth, and they don't even have common anything in their land? These people are caused by God. They are caused. They are caused people. Our people can lead the handwriting on the wall. If somebody is living all the way from the north, lay pipe from the east, taking the resources, and what they have to bring for us is Janjaweed army to kill our people. There are thousands of them on our roads, extorting money for our people. Our people now, the worst part of it, our people no longer go to the farm, and somebody will come up in social media and begin to talk rubbish and come as in Namdekano them. May God punish them and their entire generation. Maazi, I will congratulate you. I said I will try to call you and congratulate you for the job for exposing Emeka 3. He's a criminal. Since you expose him, believe me, you don't know the work you did that day. You exposed this man claimed to be a lawyer. He's a fat lawyer. He's a very stupid. In fact, he should go and hide his face in shame. He's a very stupid idiot. Emeka 3, if he's a woman enough, you should go and watch that video back to see how he disgraced himself in public. He thinks by coming out to become top. You see, this is the reason why Gowon says if he knew that Igbo people will love money, not all of them, but some of them, this Fulani born Janjaweed in Allah, that he will never buy a bullet to fight Ojukwu. He will pick up some few people to fight him.
Yes.
Emeka 3 is being paid by the Nigerian government. For him to come out with those Patmaya documents there, reading that the American government is now placing IPOB in a watch list, in a terrorist list. His own brother that's fighting terrorists, the most hot terrorists in the world, fighting them, from them not to take our land. And this man came out in the social media, keep telling the whole world that the people that is defending themselves are now terrorists. Can't you see that something is wrong?
Yes.
That the American government, and not only that, they lie that the IPOB are killing Christians. Now this is their propaganda against IPOB, that we are fighting Christians. We are only telling the Christian community, speak up. Our leader is telling them, speak up. You cannot leave everything for Mazin Namdekano. Why are they killing Christians and Christians are keeping their mouth shut? Speak up and tell the international community. Mazi, if the Christian community are speaking up and telling the whole world the truth, that what Mazin Namdekano is saying is the truth, Christians are being killed. Believe you me, it won't take America less than 1 month to intervene in Nigeria. Believe you me. But these criminals keep quiet and watch people die. They collect more, they go, like as you said, Nigeria breeds criminals. You saw this pastors you see. At the end of the day, they went back to Asorok and collect money. In the night, I'm telling you, forget about all these things you see them do. Look at the one now, the Magu indicted that a pastor, I don't know if you have seen the news, that a pastor is laundering money for Magu to Dubai. A pastor.
You see?
Magu was using a pastor to launder money in Dubai. So what are we talking about here? That is why they can't speak up when people are dying. I want to tell Nigeria, do you think American government, America, the most powerful country in the world, number one powerful in the country, do you think America is stupid? I've asked them this question. Do you think America don't have satellite? Do you think America don't know what is happening in Nigeria? Do you actually, this Nigeria, do you think that America don't actually know what is happening in Nigeria? Is that what you think? Do you think that America did not see that the Boko Haram beheaded that kind chairman? Do you think America don't have satellite? Is that what Nigeria is telling me? They are deceiving themselves. America, before they intervene, they take their time. They will surely intervene, but they took their time to do something.
Yes.
Watch before they enter any country. Look at the way they enter. They must surely come. These Nigerians, they think America is stupid, that they don't see. America that have almost millions of satellites in the air. They saw everything that happened, and you think Nigeria can come and deceive them, that IPOB are killing Christians. You think they're dumb? You think you can lie? That you think FBI and CIA don't? What do you think they have them for? Keep deceiving yourself. We must surely continue. My main purpose of calling is to congratulate you. Believe you me, my brother.
Thank you
I
very
raise
much.
hand for you up for destroying Emeka. These are criminals. Look at what he has. He has nothing to offer. He has nothing to offer. I was just laughing that day. Look at this man. Marty, thank you for giving me this opportunity. We must surely continue.
Yes.
But all I'm telling all this about what is that your fathers that Ojuku left, we will kill them and kill you. It doesn't matter. You will not destroy IPOB. Instead of IPOB to destroy, I am everybody I want there. I believe you me.
No, nobody will destroy IPOB.
Instead of you saboteurs to fight us, we will take your family one by one in Biafra land. We promise you, our people are died enough. Since 1945,
we are already informing them there is no need for them to write to international community. They should know now, they should know their boundary now that it is of no use. If you are looking for restructuring, go to Nigeria and do your restructuring.
Exactly.
And if you must write to international community, write totally that you are looking for Biafra. You can be doing your restructuring in Nigeria, but when you come abroad, writing to anybody, you have to make it very clear that you want total freedom of Biafra. You cannot be writing restructuring when they are not. It is not an international issue, and then other people are writing for total freedom of Biafra. It doesn't make sense. So it is a sabotage. That is the only thing we are asking them to do. Thank you very much.
Yes, Martin. Since 1945, one tribe has been killing other tribes. Igbo people have paid price in Nigeria, and are asking, what is our crime? See, these people have no. If Fulani have a conscience, they would ask themselves, "What do you want? You control the oil. You control the army. You appointed governors for us, appointed commissioner, police, DPO, everything. But still, what do you want from us? You are still killing us, sending your gender away in our land, raping our mothers, killing them, butchering our ladies."
Thank you. Yes, that is true. Thank you very much. Let me receive another call because I need.
Thank you very much, Martin, for giving me this opportunity.
Thank you. Yes, those of you in YouTube, Tear of God has posted the number to call on YouTube. You can check the comment of Tear of God. I think he posted that number. That number is what you can call and reach me. So this is exactly the point here. We need to let them know that America, of course, in the secret document of CIA that I was reading a few time ago, America, it shows that America even know more. Of course, like we all know. Hello, we lost that caller. Call back. That caller calling from the United States. You can call back. We lost you. So I'm still waiting for like four caller more, and then we call it a day. So those of you in watching from YouTube, you can look at the number. Also, Glorious Spark has posted the number as well. Glorious Spark has posted the number. Good evening. Your name and where you're calling from, please. Hello, good evening. Your name and where you're calling from, please. Can you go away from where you're watching me from?
Okay. My name is Chukwuemeka. I'm calling from Aba, Enyimba City.
Chukwuemeka from our own Enyimba. Welcome to the program.
Thank you so much, my brother. It is a pleasure to have you online.
Thank you. Go ahead.
Yes, what I want to really congratulate you and at the same time to appreciate the work you are doing. This congratulation is not only God, He has done it for us, and I know that any moment from now we'll be getting our freedom.
Yes.
All these saboteurs, both the baby ones and the adult ones, are only wasting their time.
Exactly. We lost that call. We lost that call. That's a Nigeria call. Hello, good evening. Your name and where you're calling from, please?
Yes, Mr. Simon, how are you doing?
I'm doing very fine. Who is this?
I'm calling from America. I'm calling from America.
Okay.
Yeah, thank you very much.
And
I think everything you said.
And your name, please.
Everything. My name is Chima.
Chima, welcome to the program. Go ahead.
Thank you, brother. Everything you said is correct.
Thank you.
It's simple. It's a simple truth. Nigeria is breeding criminals. That is a fact.
Thank you very much.
Is anybody arguing on that?
Some people are arguing about that.
Excuse me, please. Emeka is number one.
Okay.
Who calls his brothers terrorists. And he brought his own magazine where he himself wrote it. That is criminality. That is criminality. Is there any other criminal than that? Do you know, does he understand what he is doing? And then he went and fought or wrote a letter all over the world that IPOB, they are criminal. All over the world. FBI, that is criminality. And he stood on it up to tomorrow. Now, when people say, or people begin to argue that Nigeria is not breeding criminals. Now, when you go to school, this is where I want Biafra to come tomorrow. Their school, they are simply breeding and breeding criminals. When you go to school, university, students, they began bribing the lecturers. These are leaders of tomorrow. When you go to secondary school, people pass their exams through manipulation. I mean, how would a society function? Now, you show us this evening about gospel about you. All of them in House of Assembly, their president, everybody is a criminal.
Yes.
And then you go to church, the president of town is being killed, the people are being massacred. Nobody is talking about it. And when you see somebody who talks about it, everybody is against that person. Is that not criminality? Is that not, I mean, does these people, do they have brain at all? Do they have brain at all? Everything there is criminality. You are 100% accurate. Please, people should listen, people should repent, people need to restructure their brain. That is a fact. Thank you, my brother. I mean, if any of these guys, if they hear Simon Ekpa, they will think twice before they say anything on social media. I want to congratulate you. You are a man.
Thank you very much.
You are doing absolutely good. You get Emeka's what I have been praying to God to do to them.
Yes. Thank you very much.
You really, no, my brother. Anytime any of them remembers Simon Ekpa,
they will
go back, or they will think twice before they come up again and do anything. That is what you have shown them. And I love that position, because the way you analyze it, we don't, the way they speak, it sounds very sweet. But what makes the difference is this: you begin analyzing their words step by step, one after the other, and you consistently do that. Okay, person like me, I think, is that why this person is doing this? But when they speak blah 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 blah, you will not understand the criminality, or you will not understand it, not until you begin to follow them one by one.
Exactly.
From their own words.
Exactly.
Thank you, brother. Thank you, brother. God bless you, my brother.
Thank you very much. I appreciate. Yes, that's what we're talking about. Of course, we will stop at nothing to expose anybody. that comes against the restoration of Biafra. In fact, I took it, like I said from the beginning, God was very busy molding me and preparing me for this time, for Biafra people. And I'm not dragging anything with anybody, but believe me, I will be ready to engage anybody that is going to sabotage what IPOB and other Biafra agitators, genuine agitators are doing. I will be ready to engage that person. Yes, good evening. Your name and where you're calling from, please.
Good evening. It's Christy from Canada.
Christy from Canada, welcome to the program.
Yeah, you are doing a great job. I like what you're doing.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Yeah, I know you know who is talking, right?
Christy? Oh my goodness! You mean our own Christy?
Yes.
Oh my goodness! Oh my goodness! Oh my goodness! Oh my goodness! How is Emeka?
He's fine.
My regard to him. My regard to him.
I'm following your program. You're really doing a good job. I love that.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. I see you are watching sometimes. I see you when you watch. Yes.
Yeah, no problem.
All right. All right. My regard to the family.
I will. Thank you.
I think we have already. Is this our fourth caller or our fifth caller? Is it our fourth caller? I think we already have 5. Hello. Good evening. Your name and where you calling from, please?
Yeah, Mr. Simon. Wow, I can't believe that I reached you. My name is Emmanuel. I'm calling from Atlanta, Georgia.
Oh, Mr. Emmanuel from Atlanta. Welcome to the program.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm from Imo State in Biafra land.
You're welcome to the program. Go ahead.
Yeah, I've been following your program, and it's really, really interesting the way you analyze the issue, going on in that Niger area.
Thank you very much.
The fact that is that, it's not everybody that can bring out their time to do what you're doing. It takes the grace of Elohim, to do what you're doing.
Thank you very
and
much.
we really appreciate you.
Thank you very much.
So what I wanted to say is that, watching the video and what you said, it's like everybody is beginning to wake up to the reality that contraption can never work.
It can never work.
This British contraption, no, it can never work. Because, if you look at the events happening right now, if you look at the event, they said when you get to the end of the tunnel, there's a light. But before you get to that end of the tunnel, there's going to be a lot of obstruction.
Yes.
My mom always said that. So all these people you're seeing, Emeka and the other useless idiots from Turkey or whatever, all of them that are crawling out from their cage, from their dark cage, all these things you're seeing, that shows you that Biafra is already here.
Exactly.
It's already here. All these things are attacking IPOB, attacking the indigenous people of Biafra, attacking Mazina and the Kano. This shows that Biafra is already here. It takes a spiritual eye for you to see it.
Yes.
Because that is exactly what is happening. It's only the people who don't have faith, people who are not strong enough, that will back out right now.
Exactly.
But if you're strong enough, you will know that we are getting to that point.
Yes.
Because it no matter what is happening all over the world, everything, I keep telling people, something big is coming, and it's going to favor some people. And some people, it's not going to favor some people. And those people that it will favor is the Biafran people.
Exactly.
Everything that is happening in this, because everything, the Bible said that everything happens the good things happen for those that believe. Everything that is happening right now in the whole world, it will turn out to be a blessing for Biafra.
Yes.
They think America is not watching because whatever the attack Donald Trump is going through here and here and there, they're using their CNN as their agent, to attack him and able to distract him. Everything, whatever God wants to do, no matter how much they attack him, he's still going to, if God wants to use him as an instrument for the restoration of Biafra, it's going to happen.
Exactly. The point is that it is our responsibility to let the entire world know that Nigeria is the biggest threat to human existence. Is a biggest threat to EU, is the biggest threat to America, is the biggest threat to Asia. Nigeria, if Nigeria continue to be a country, in the next 15 to 20 years, they will begin to sponsor terrorist attack on this nation. And this is a fact. Nigeria will become the worst extremist country on the planet.
You have said it before, and I watched one of your programs where you made the same comment.
Yes.
Because what is happening right now is that Saudi Arabia, that is where the head is. That is where the head is. Saudi Arabia, they're trying to use Nigeria as an agent to turn the whole West Africa to an Islamic state. So, but their plan is not going to work.
It will not
even
work.
Even if a Democrat enters there, because Democrats, I know they are pro-Islam. They believe in whatever Islam is doing. What I'm saying is that anything that God said that this is what is going to happen is what is going to happen. I've watched this man, and I keep asking myself, what kind of human being is this? Because I have never seen his type in our Igbo land. I have never seen the type of man Nnamdi Kanu. Everything he has gone through, it takes the grace of Elohim, a divine grace for somebody to stand firm after all he has gone through. So that is why I believe that Biafra is here. Because for God to bring out this person to lead for the restoration of Biafra, honestly, I have 100%, 120% of belief in Nnamdi Kanu. So I'm not going to take much of your time because I know that some other people are with you. But all I'm trying to say is our people, they should wake up.
Exactly.
They should wake up. Like what you said, anybody that have their Nigerian passport, they should first of all identify themselves as a Biafran. For me, I always tell people here, where I work, where I school, I tell people I am a Biafran. Some people think I'm crazy about it, I'm a fanatic. I say yes. Everything I drink and breathe is about Biafra. Because most of us that are out here, we are not having fun. There's no place like home. If the blacks are in America, the so-called African Americans, if they can be treated the way they are being treated, what about us that came from Africa?
Yes. Think about it.
So the only thing that we know right now is Biafra. Everything we dream, everything we think, whatever we eat is Biafra. So every Biafran should wake up and forget about all these distractions and know that Biafra is already here. Thank you so much, and I really ask God, Elohim, to bless you.
Thank you.
And your family, and give you more grace to continue doing this.
Amen. Amen. And
thank you so much.
Thank you very much. And he is the last caller, but you know, a lot of people are telling me we have to continue. We have to continue. A lot of people are saying we have to continue. We have to continue. Don't you know? I have to also sleep and all that. Hello. Hello.
Hello.
Yes. Good evening. Your name and where you calling from, please?
Good evening. My name is Muka Toshku, calling from Lagos, Nigeria.
Tochukwu from Nigeria. Welcome to the program. You are not supposed to talk because I'm supposed to stop the fifth caller, and now you are the sixth. You are the sixth caller. So, but go ahead.
Okay. Please, I want to make some brief contributions.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Okay. Number one thing is that I want to applaud the American government. I heard in the news that very soon they are going to repatriate about 16,000 Nigerians who are schooling there, whose schools have gone online. And from my own intelligence gathering, I believe that why they are doing that is to bring them down to Nigeria to shoot up the system. They want to use them to tear up the people in Nigeria to create a kind of revolution that will bring about a needed change in the systems. Because they have discovered that the people in Nigeria are not they are not taking any action. They are not doing anything. So they want to bring these people from America who have tested right, who have seen the good things and how things are done. They want to bring them down to Nigeria so that they will use them to see if they can be able to ginger the youth in Nigeria, because the way the things are going in Nigeria, I don't know why the youth in Nigeria are not even showing any concern.
Yeah, so you read in the news that American government is about to repatriate about 15,000 Nigerians, about 15,000 students in the US.
Yes. Okay. They want to bring them back to Nigeria.
So probably that is the implementation of the traveling ban, because the traveling ban is not about traveling to America, but the traveling ban is against migration. and that also has to do with students. So probably it is because of the implementation of this traveling ban. But of course, the issue is that if they have attorney general, if they have somebody who is attorney general of Nigeria who is competent, do you know what the attorney general would have done? The attorney general of Nigeria would have gone into legality of that type of repatriation. Are you going to implement the executive order on traveling ban against students who probably already were in the country during the time of this traveling ban, or is it going to be applicable to the students who are now trying to apply to schools in the US? These are the legal questions that need to be answered. But of course, because the American knows that the person as Attorney General of Nigeria, of the Federation, is not competent enough, so they can do their gimmick and play or however they want on his intelligence. So these are the issues, the questions that they should ask. Is it going to be applicable to students who already are in America or were in America before the executive order, or is it going to be applicable to students who are just applying? You see, these are the questions, but of course I will leave it. I have given him expo. This is what I'm just saying now. If the Attorney General of the Federation happen to listen to this video, this is an expo I have given to him. I will not go further to give guidelines what to do and all that. But anyway, that is by the way. So this is to show that those Nigerians in America that will be victim of incompetence of the Nigeria, the Attorney General of Nigeria, because if the Attorney General of Nigeria knows his job, he would not allow them to be repatriated. Of course, America have their ground, they have their reason, there is an executive order, but all the legal remedies have to be harnessed and followed before the final repatriation of these 15,000 people. This is the price you pay. Price you pay for the crime of the Northeast and the Northwest. When I was talking about the price, you see, this is the price. Now, those of you, the 15,000 or 16,000 students, Nigeria students in the US, you are going to pay the price. Whether you like it or not, if the news is real, because I have not seen it, I have not come across the news, but if the news, I will, later on I will check the news. If the news is real, this is the price you pay. They don't know who is Abdullahi. They don't know who is Muhammad. When they say Nigeria is a criminal country, Nigeria is a terrorist country, it is you in the US, they know. They don't know. It is not Osibanjo. It is you in the US, they know that we pay the price. When Sheku is chopping off head in Sambisa Forest, you are the ambassador of Sheku. Do you understand why we want Biafra? If Fulani herdsmen are raping women, you are the ambassador of Fulani herdsmen in America. Do you understand why we are looking for Biafra? If the bandits are killing Christians in southern Kaduna, you are the ambassador of bandits. You are representing bandits in America, whether you like it or not. If people are scamming 168 billion from Americans, you are ambassador of that person. That is what it means. But when we are saying it, a lot of you don't understand. So those of you who don't know, you are shouting one Nigeria, one Nigeria. Your one Nigeria is going to repatriate you back to Nigeria so that you will face the reality. And at the end of the day, all of you will go into hiding in the US. You leave your school and go into hiding. Because if you continue school, they will repatriate you. They will repatriate you. Because your school, you can do it online. Do you understand that? You will do it online. So, it is the price you pay for being a Nigerian. It is the price you pay. You are paying the price of the crime you did not commit. And that is the reason why it is very important you embrace the disintegration of Nigeria if you are not a Biafran. embrace the disintegration of Nigeria so that your own nation, your own region will have their own country. Because if you come back to Nigeria to go and continue your study in online, believe me, in the next 5 years, you will not even have opportunity to study anything online. They will cut you off from this surface of earth. You will become like North Korea. North Korea, isolated country. Will become so isolated they can't do anything in the world. Even now, do you know how many years? Do you know what you suffered to gain admission to study in the US? Do you think other countries are suffering it? You are being subjected to take English language test as a foreign language. Do you know why? Do you know why you are subjected to take the SAT exam, TOEFL and what have you? Do you know why? Because of this Fulanese, Northeast and Northwest. You went to school in Nigeria, studied in English. You are regarded as an English country, but when you want to study abroad, they subject you to another English language as a foreign, English test language as a foreign language. You subject you to this kind of test when other nations who speak English they don't have to subject you as to this, undergo this English language as a foreign language. But you as a Nigeria, because of the northern Nigeria, they will subject you to this test. You go and write the test separately after being studied in English. Do you understand you are paying the price already. Now, if you want to go to do master, you are senior advocate of Nigeria. You want to go to United Kingdom. Even with your senior advocate of Nigeria, you will be subjected to another test. With somebody who is ordinary bachelor of law, you will be subjected to another test before they can admit you. Those of you professor in Nigeria, before you go and they accept you, they will subject you to another test. As a professor, you pay that price. So all of you shouting for one Nigeria, this is the reason why we want Biafra. You know, we cannot continue to pay the price of crimes we did not commit. Do you get it now? You get it now. So on this note, I'm calling this the Aveda. I know a lot of you, if I begin to talk today, you honestly will begin to cry. There are things I will say now. Most of you will begin to cry where you are because it will touch you. But let me stop here. I will continue tomorrow. On this note, I'm wishing you happy new week. Remain blessed and have a wonderful night. May God bless Biafra.